Hello, my name is Keith Thompson. I'm president of Asheville Civitan Club this year. I'd like to invite each and every one of you to join us for the upcoming television series, Spirit of Civitan TV. It's going to be on URTV, and we're going to be covering some of the important issues affecting our community. We're going to be meeting some of the civic leaders who are making a difference every day in the lives of our community, and making things better for our children and grandchildren, making this a better place in which to live. So we hope you will be able to join us and watch our series as it comes forward. Thank you.
Hi, your dad told me you were going to work on budding practice.
Was it?
It doesn't lose its flavor in cooking.
I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Betty Young.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be here with you this afternoon and have the chance to share with you a little bit about the great things that are going on at AB Tech. I thought since I am new to town, I just arrived in September, maybe I'd tell you a little bit about my background, although with that great introduction, I don't know what's left to tell, and a little bit about what's been going on at AB Tech. I have discovered as I've gone around to speak to different groups in town that people are often surprised to learn at just how large AB Tech is and really how we impact each of your individual lives on a daily basis through the kind of education and training that we do. So in a few minutes I'll have some slides to share with you that will give the folks in the room who like numbers some numbers to latch onto. My background is a little different from a traditional college president. We think of most folks as graduating from high school at 18 years old and going off to college and becoming good college students and being successful in their careers from that point forward. But mine took a little detour, but it's a pretty common detour. We're finding that more and more students today are not going the traditional route of going straight to college right after high school. Whether we think that's good or bad, it is what it is. So for me, at 28, divorced, happily ever after didn't happen that time. I found that I was in the position that if I wanted a better life for my daughter and for myself, I was going to have to go back to college. And you know what I have discovered since then? That's the pathway of about 50% of the women that I know. And so I did. I went back to school. I started taking a couple classes at the local community college because I really didn't have the confidence that I had the money, the time, the energy, or anything else that it took to be successful as a college student. So I was going to take a couple of classes. I thought it would help me get ahead at my work and so forth. And I discovered there that people had confidence in me. And with a little success in a few college courses, I had confidence also. And that may be the greatest single thing that I earned from my community college experience was the confidence that I was smart and that I could learn and that there were opportunities for me as a 28-year-old woman out there in the work world that would make a great life for my daughter and me. And so once I got started, you're right, I couldn't be stopped. And so while I continued to work full-time, I went to school full-time. Again, the story of most of our community college students, but more and more the story of students regardless of where they're attending school. Education has become extremely expensive. I want to congratulate you in this room on taking the lead to provide scholarship opportunities for people in our community. It is tremendously important to people. I know you'll receive many thank yous, but it won't be until many years later when you're 100 that you will may have some of those students come back and tell you that your scholarship that was made available through Civitan might have made the difference to them. What we're finding at community colleges is more and more students are coming to us as first choice institutions for two reasons. One is the quality of the education, and the second is the cost. Now, depending on which household you're coming from, it may be cost first and quality of education second. Our colleges are much less expensive to attend than typical universities, particularly private universities, but the quality of the education is also exemplary. Today, the community college and its Asheville Buncombe Technical Community College, we are comprehensive community colleges, and I'll share more with that, about that with you in a bit. But today we offer all the transfer programs that students need to transfer on to UNCA or Western or other colleges and universities. And to give you an example, a sociology class at AB Tech is likely to have maybe 25 students in it. And if you talk to any students attending large universities today, you likely would find that those classes are much, much larger. So our students get a lot of individual attention. And I think that's why our students are so very successful. And we are becoming a first choice institution for the first 2 years of the university degree. I tell my transfer students all the time when they come through the door and their parents that I want your student to have a 4-year college experience. Let's do it this way. 2 years at AB Tech getting your general education, 2 years at whatever university you choose earning your bachelor's degree, and 2 more years earning your master's degree. So let's set the standards higher for our students today. Give them an opportunity to mature at home with their parents, earn that associate degree and the confidence that they can be successful college students. They're much more likely to be successful as they proceed on, and we can take them to much higher levels. There have been 3 presidents before me at AB Tech, and each one, I believe, was truly the right president for the right time. Mr. Simpson, I never had the opportunity to meet, but I know that he came out of public school education, and it was in the early days of the development of AB Tech. And AB Tech certainly grew out of vocational training needs understood by the K-12 system. Then Harvey Haynes came along, an excellent president who was focused on economic development. And for those of you in the room who know Harvey, his focus for AB Tech was to train people for jobs in the community and bring industry and business here that needed people, and then prepare those people for those jobs. And he was extremely successful in doing that. Next president, you all know, Ray Bailey, outstanding president, was a business officer before he became president. He was very focused on the growth and development of the campus, and for years you saw a lot of new buildings going up over at AB Tech as the campus grew and expanded. And Ray was there as the college became a comprehensive community college. Now you have Betty Young, and I have been told I have big shoes to fill. I tell people I wear heels. My goal and vision for the future of the college is to continue the expansion and the growth, particularly focused on certain industries that the community has a high need for. Let me go ahead and share with you some of the numbers about AB Tech. First of all, community colleges in general are the largest sector of higher education. We have more than 11 million students in higher education in the United States that are in community colleges. Now let me give you another number. In North Carolina, the number is 800,000. North Carolina is truly known nationally and internationally as a premier state when it comes to community college education. Healthcare professionals nationally, 50% of new nurses and the majority of all your other healthcare workers are educated at community colleges. In North Carolina, the number is 60%. Oops. Homeland Security, close to 80% of firefighters, law enforcement officers, and EMTs are credentialed at community colleges. In North Carolina, the number is closer to 100%. It's around 98%. So when you're in an accident and you find yourself looking up at somebody who's about to rescue you, you're likely looking into the eyes of an AB Tech grad or another community college grad. We contributed 227 healthcare professionals to our community last year, and that number does not include the more than 700 CNA, Certified Nursing Assistants, that we trained at AB Tech last year. Again, our first responders, 283 first responders in our community. I'm going to go back for just a second to the healthcare. When you go to your dentist, ask your hygienist where they went to school. It's very likely that your hygienist went to school at either AB Tech or one of the other community colleges in the state. When you're in the hospital, ask your nurse where they went to school. When you're having your blood drawn at the lab, ask the phlebotomist where they went to school. And if you get the chance to ask the lab tech, the person who's actually in working the bench, determining what's going on with your blood, they're likely a community college graduate. I mean, the list truly goes on and on. The person who prepares your cart to go into surgery so that everything is there that your surgeon needs, trained at AB Tech. And on the lighter side, whenever you decide your wife has been wonderful or your husband's a good guy and maybe you should take him out to dinner, there's a very good chance that you may go to a restaurant right here in Asheville, North Carolina, where your chef was trained at AB Tech, or your baker who bakes that special something for you was trained with AB Tech. I had the opportunity the other day to sit down with 15 chefs from around the Asheville area, and we have world-class dining here in Asheville. I don't know how often you get to participate in any of that, but it's worth living here. I told somebody I could become a food snob pretty easy. By the way, our team last year was first in the nation, and this year at the state competition we won first again. The regionals we won second, so they won't be going to nationals this year. In 2007, the AB Tech contributed 23 auto mechanics and electricians to our community. So again, when you go have your car repaired or you call the electrician, it's very likely to be an AB Tech graduate. We had 196 students that earned the associate degree in arts or associate in science and transferred on to complete a bachelor's degree program. In addition to the 196 that completed the associate degree program with us, many other students come and take what we call our transfer module, which is less than a full associate degree with us, and those folks then are better prepared to transfer. That's not included in this number. We trained nearly 10,000 industrial workers in our community last year. Let me give you just one example of how this builds on the economic development of our community. Volvo, you all are familiar with the company Volvo. Volvo put in a new line last year to build a new piece of heavy equipment. That line required 300 new employees at Volvo and the retraining of many other employees. AB Tech set up a line that simulates the plant operation, and we do that training on the AB Tech campus. In addition, we revamped our welding program, buying new welding equipment and so forth, so that we were able to do the welding training specific to the needs of Volvo. That's just one example of the kind of training that we do. But that number, 10,000, usually is a surprise to people. This community definitely needs AB Tech. And here we are with a picture of the piece of equipment being created at Volvo. And these are great jobs in our community. AB Tech is one of the community colleges in the nation that is tops in being a business incubator for small businesses. At our Inca campus, we have facilities. We provide the support services and the training for those who want to start a small business. People have started at AB Tech and become extremely successful. Right now, we have, I think they told me yesterday, we now have 13 companies in our incubator. And the typical time limit of new businesses in the incubator is about 2 years. They can extend a little longer than that, but our idea is to grow the business and help the business stand on its own, and then it moves on out into the community as a sustaining business. So we're creating new jobs. We work with other agencies to help these companies find startup money to be able to start their businesses. Some of them start with research and development. Others are more consumer-oriented in nature, but you'll find just about all types of businesses being started at the Inca campus. Something else that we do that a lot of folks don't realize is that we are the third highest in awarding GEDs in the state. We're third only behind behind Raleigh and Charlotte, which, as you know, populations are much larger in both of those areas than in Asheville. But last year, we graduated 550 students with a GED. We received the Extra Credit Community Award for 21 years of free tax prep service that we provide in the community for folks. And we received this past year recognition from the American Meteorological Society for green efficiency of our modular home project. In our construction project, we actually build a modular home. That modular home is then sold for affordable housing in the community. We're working right now with the city on providing lots for us to do that. It's a great project, and by using the green efficiency, our folks are learning how that green technology fits into the construction of new homes. This year we've added some new programs, including cosmetology, CT MRI technology. So again, if you're over at the hospital and that machine starts rattling around your head, there's probably somebody standing outside that's an AV Tech grad. Resort and spa management, and therapeutic massage. It's amazing the rejuvenation industry and what it means to the economy of Western North Carolina. And of course, resort and spa management, therapeutic massage, and cosmetology are all programs that there's a huge need for in this industry. We're in the process of developing a new program in entrepreneurship and also in medical assisting. And when we ask employers how well we do, and we ask our graduates how well we've done, we find that our graduates are employable. The employment statistics of our graduates for AV Tech this past year were 99.64. So if you come to AV Tech, you finish a degree in one of these programs, you're very likely to have the opportunity to go to work. Employer satisfaction, 97%. And for the training that we do for business and industry, we have a 99% satisfaction rate. I don't care what business you were in, you'd be very proud of those numbers. Just how big is AV Tech? This number usually surprises people. This past year, we were over 26,000. We were over 26,000 students that attended AV Tech. I think 96,000 might be as big as the whole city, isn't it? 26,000 students. Of those, about 9,000 are in academic programs leading to degrees. The remainder are in some kind of workforce development or training program that we do. But this is a huge number. When you consider the population of Asheville, the population of Buncombe County, every year we're touching the lives of many, many people in every family. Okay, that's the end of my numbers. How do I put this thing to sleep again?
Just go to sleep.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. So what does the future hold for AV Tech? Well, certainly facilities development will continue to be a priority for me, to work with the community to figure out how we can add additional facilities. This spring of '08, compared to spring of '07, we have more than 600 additional students in academic programs on our campus. Now think of what that number would do to any school within the county if we added over 600 students from one year to the next. The demand is there for education, for higher education, for retraining, and if AV Tech's not the one going to do it, who will? So facilities development is extremely important to us. We're also working on a new project we call Third Life College. Think of this in terms of your childhood, K-12, you go to school, then you have adulthood, where you face your education or continue your education, you work. And then we have third life. Now we call it third life because it can happen at any point in your life. We may have people who are 40 years old looking for a retooling or getting ready to do something different in their life. You may have somebody retiring at 60 or 65 ready to redo and do something new with their life. The meaning of retirement is completely changing in our society. Some people out of reasons for necessity, others out of reason for mental necessity, to keep their mind active and be excited about doing things. Third Life College will be the opportunity for people to come back and retool, either to work, volunteer, start up small businesses, but to get the skills that they need to do that at AB Tech. I'll give you an example. The other day I talked to a lady. She's retired as a banker. She had a great career. She says, you know, I love working with children, and I always thought I'd like to work in a child care center. And I said, that's great. She says, but I don't know the first thing about working in a child care center. So she, at 66, is going to come back into our early childhood program, and her goal is not to work in the industry, but to be a volunteer in the industry. And at 65, she'll have no tuition cost. So her cost of attending college is simply for her books and fees. So it's really an affordable thing that people can afford to do, and it gives you a whole new lease on life, something that maybe you've always wanted to do. This will give you the opportunity. The other day I spoke with a fellow who's sort of been an amateur photographer all of his life, but pretty good at it. He's never used digital photography. So he's returning at 67 years old. He's returning to take digital photography courses, and his goal is to earn an additional $10,000 a year so that he can travel to do more photography. And it's, it's a supplemental income for him. So again, the reasons are as varied as the number of people who will select Third Life College. But the idea behind Third Life College is to help folks retool to be able to do the kinds of things that they want to do. I tell people that really the community college today is the graduate school of the future. If you were to look at, for example, our nursing program, our culinary program, you'd probably be very surprised to learn how many of the folks who enroll in those programs already have bachelor's degrees in other fields, but are finding that they want to work in new fields, there are jobs available in other fields, and they want to take advantage of that. So those are just some of the things going on at AB Tech. Let me tell you about my recent trip to Mexico. Asheville has a sister city program, and as a part of that sister city program, we are sister cities with Valladolid in the Yucatan, Mexico. AB Tech is a sister college there. It's the college. And what we've done is entered into an agreement with them for the next 2 years. We are creating a new program on our campus, Spanish as a second language. We already teach English as a second language. We're working with the college there. They're going to be offering English as a second language to their students and their faculty. Our Spanish as a second language will be using that same kind of model where you really learn some conversational Spanish. Then we'll be offering Spanish for the medical field, for the legal field, for the construction industry, for tourism, so that folks, after they have sort of a basic conversational Spanish, will be able to learn terminology that will help them in very specific fields that they may be working in. Over the course of the next 2 years, we'll have students and faculty that will be participating in learning Spanish as a second language. And then our intent is to have them do an exchange program, both faculty teaching and learning in Mexico, as well as students having the opportunity to travel there and study as well. This is just one example. Our business incubator also has an international relationship in India, China, and Mexico with colleges there. So AB Tech has truly become not only a comprehensive community college, but certainly with international ties that are important for the global economy. Well, I've touched on a lot of different topics, and I could speak for another hour on my favorite subject, AB Tech. But I'd like to open the floor now, and if you have any questions, maybe I can answer for you.
Because in business we have to do collaboration not only with our customers or clients or patients or whatever, but we have to do it with other businesses. Seems like you are setting a good model for your own students in showing that you can work with other folks in that nature. Do you have a management type of track for folks who are wanting to get in and or come back and refresh management skills?
Yes, the business program, the traditional academic program would address that, but there are also some special courses that you can take through our workforce development and continuing ed that's on the soft skills needed for managers today in the workplace. So that's a good example of the kinds of things that we offer. We also do customized training. So if an employer comes to us and says, you know, we're changing the way we do business and we need our folks to understand conflict resolution or customer service or how to do effective appraisals of employees. These are all the kinds of things that we can develop specifically for a company to meet their needs. Another example of that collaboration with community colleges is we recently worked with Haywood Community College because of the issues facing the hospital in that area. We're helping them to complete their clinical experience with their nurses. So I think you do see a real collegiate type of atmosphere emerging from the community colleges in collaboration with working with each other.
And just one more question. The collaboration with Asheville City Schools and Buncombe County Schools in helping to get more students motivated to not only stay and get their high school diploma, but to be able to extend that and get an associate's degree. I know you're doing a lot of work with that. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Again, there's so many things that we do at AB Tech, it's hard to touch on everything. But we have an early college program that's been funded by the Gates Foundation, and these students from Buncombe County start as freshmen in high school on our campus. We take 60 students a year. They're in a very special program. They start taking college courses their freshman year, and it's a 5-year program. So at the end of the 5th year, they not only have their high school diploma, but also an associate degree, and are prepared to move on to the university at that point. So that's really an exciting program. We're working on expanding that right now to make that available to other school districts in the area as well. I appreciate it. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Jake Delhomme, quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. Since 1950, Civitan has been committed to improving the lives of people with developmental disabilities. That commitment continues today through Civitan's involvement in summer camps, vocational programs, and Special Olympic Games for great people like my cousin Kevin. Help me and thousands of other Civitan members make a difference by volunteering in your local Civitan club. Together, we can score a touchdown in your community. Hi, I'm Jake Delhomme, quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. Since 1950, Civitan has been committed to improving the lives of people with developmental disabilities. Today, scientists at the Civitan International Research Center work with the latest technology to create innovative therapies and treatments for people like my cousin Kevin. Contact your local Civitan club today to find out more, or visit us on the web at civitan.org. Together, we can score a touchdown in your community.